We're live right now.
Okay, you gonna do that?
Hey everybody, today we're just here in the studio in our craft shop, and we're going to do some sublimation crafting. We're going to show you how to make a tumbler,
Garden spinner.
a garden spinner, maybe we'll do some keychains, just basic sublimation stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll try and answer your questions if we have the answer. So yeah, let's get started. So first I need to print out the designs that we're going to use, and we're going to show you how to make one of these spinners right here.
Oh.
We're going to show you how to make one of these.
Starts off like this.
What are these called?
Garden spinners.
Garden spinners. We just made this one not too long ago, just so we knew what we were doing.
And I didn't know what I was doing because I forgot to peel this off.
Make sure that we ordered these off of Amazon.
So you want to peel off this coating, this plastic first.
Yeah, make sure you can. There's a plastic on there you can't see. Make sure you peel that off.
I know that now.
I'm gonna hang this over
So I'm
here.
gonna go ahead and peel this. Peels off really easy. Once
And,
you get it started. He's gonna make the design.
What was that?
I don't know. Did that spinner fall?
No.
Alright, let me get this all peeled off.
So we're using for that spinner. That's a 10-inch spinner. So you got to have your normal printer's not going to work on that. You got to have a large format printer. So I'm going to print off of our 15,000, and I use 11.5 by or 11 by 17 paper, which I have somewhere around here. So we're going to need 2 sheets because you're going to need a sheet for each side. The same design. You can put a different design on each side if you want to, but we're just going to print the same design twice and put it on each side. So let me get this printed out.
While he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get the heat press on. It's going to be 380 for 60 seconds. Let that warm up. Get my parchment paper ready. I'm not using the face behind this.
I use Affinity Designer software to print these out. I've already got the design saved, so I just have to print it. See, we got Maryland on here. Yeah, I just ordered these. I wanted to see how well they sublimated, so I just ordered 2 of them, and we just made one, which is hanging up on the lamp over there, to practice, and kind of think we have an idea of how to do it, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to make one.
It was very easy. As long as you peel off the paper. I didn't peel it off on the first side, but it still went through.
Yeah, it still went through,
It just wasn't as vibrant.
Well, can you tell the difference on the sides?
Yeah, I don't think you can tell which side I peeled it off and which side I didn't. I can't tell.
One side, Tammy forgot to peel off the plastic first.
I can't tell.
But normally, with all sublimation products, they're like keychains,
yeah.
not tumblers, but keychains, anything you press with the press, pretty
License plates.
much, it's going to have like a really clear, thin plastic film over it that you got to peel off. So, see if I can get this design printed out. I know I saved it. Here it is. Sorry for the silence. Maybe we should play some music. This is the first time we've done a live stream. We usually do videos,
tutorials,
yeah. But we thought, well, let's do a live stream so people can ask questions. And we might even have the answers. Who knows? We've been doing this for a couple of years now. And we have a successful Etsy store. I mean, not trying to brag or anything, but we've sold about $20,000 in tumblers on Etsy last year, so it's not too bad. You know, she said that the film has gotten her also on earrings.
Yeah, I forgot on earrings too, yeah.
Well, let me see. I gotta change this to 11 by 17.
I couldn't figure out why the paper was sticking to it after I pressed it. And then Tracy said, "You didn't take the film off."
Maybe we should be playing some music in the background or something. I cannot get my paper to switch. I guess I should have done this first. Let's do it a different way. Oh boy. It's awful quiet in here.
I think we might try to do a the dollar store. Let me show you here. We've never done them yet. Yeah, little cutting boards. We might try to do one of these today, huh?
We might.
See how they turn out. We haven't done one yet. Kind of interested to see how that turns out.
I'm gonna print these.
We got the round ones and the square ones.
Yeah, you can get them at Dollar Tree.
They're like $1.25 each.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
And of course, we'll do a couple of tumblers for y'all. That is one thing we're pretty good at doing is tumblers. We kind of got down doing the black background, but I know that's kind of hard a lot.
So I'm trying to print the design on this printer right here. We got 4 printers. We got the Epson F170. Then the one in the middle is our regular printer that we print regular stuff on.
Just like paper, not sublimation.
Yeah, and then the one is the 15,000. Then over here on the other side, I got a 4760. But we do most of our printing on the Epson F170 for the tumblers anyway. But I don't know why. And it's weird how everything works fine until you get live. There it goes. It's finally going. So we're going to print 2 designs on this F170 here, or not the F170, the 15,000. And I've got 11 by 17 paper in there because the spinners are 10-inch in diameter, and so you got to have something that can print wider than 10 inches. So that's the only bad thing about the spinners. Have you got all your setting? What'd you say you have your heat press set at? 380?
380 for 60 seconds.
Okay.
I got that already. It's heating up. By the time these print out, I'll be ready.
And then you got butcher paper.
My butcher paper.
Heat tape,
Yeah.
obviously.
That's all you need. You just gotta, the hardest part I felt like for this was to make sure, because you got this big round center right here. And then you got these other extra things on the sides. You want to make sure you get the main design that he's got on here centered in here.
Yeah, I can make a separate video of how I did that because it would have to be on my computer. But I just kind of made 2 circles, one for the outside and one for the inside, and then place my images on those circles. And then the sunflower in the middle, and then a colored pattern on the outside. Kind of as you can see over there, over here on that spinner that's hanging on the lamp over there. This is a bad thing about live, you can't edit nothing out, all the boring stuff.
Right?
Maybe I don't like live too much.
Probably why we never do it, huh?
Yeah.
Unless you had some, it would be better if we would have had stuff set up.
Well, next time I think
That's
we'll make
our
sure.
bad. Yeah. Wouldn't
I
think
mean,
ahead
we
on
just
that.
had a big order. Not it slowed down since Christmas, but we could have been live all day long making all the tumblers we had to make. But it slowed down a little bit. We're also starting to make soap, so you might see some soap making supplies around. We thought we'd try that. That's a whole different subject
We're
right
gonna start
there.
getting our inventory ready for craft fairs again.
Yeah, we got
I
some,
like going to doing the craft fairs with our tumblers.
yeah. We ordered some glow-in-the-dark tumblers. We was out of those. We're always running out of tumblers, it seems like.
That's our biggest thing we do. We mainly focus on tumblers.
Yeah.
I started doing the t-shirts, but that really wasn't my thing. The bleaching and all that.
Yeah, I don't really like doing the tea. I like,
And plus, we live in Indiana. Wintertime isn't that good to be doing bleaching out. We don't get no sun.
really, if you think about it, we didn't really sell many t-shirts
No.
either at craft fairs.
Just the tumblers.
We used to make all kinds of sublimation stuff, and we've just pretty much,
We just ordered more car coasters. You know, they put in your cup holders. We'll get
Yeah.
those. We'll do some of those. I do like doing them too. They're really easy to do.
you know,
And you do really cool designs on them.
it takes forever to print that out. Let's see if we can see us on here. We should be on here live. Here it is.
I know I should. Some of those. I do like doing them too. They're really easy to do.
Yeah.
And you do really cool designs on them.
There's a big delay. Takes forever to print that out.
Yeah, just showing you. Huh. I said I should do that.
Wonder why that's froze like that.
I don't know.
Oh,
It
because
was
of
just-
the,
it
there's
was-
a big delay.
Yeah, big delay on
There's
showing.
probably, what, a 3-minute delay?
Yeah, at least a minute.
Huh. Well, you know it. What happened? It stopped. We should have some music playing in the background or something.
Forgot how long it takes to print out.
Yeah.
Let's see where my heat press is at. No, I'm almost there at 379.
Well, people
Almost
don't want to
there.
watch the printer anyway. We'll turn the camera around here. Yeah, the bigger the image you print, the longer it takes. So yeah, it takes a while on the 15,000. If we was print, it's a little faster on the 8.5 by 11 for the tumblers, but this image here we're printing is 10.5 by 10.5, so it takes a little bit longer to print. But normally, if we're printing a design for a tumbler, it takes about maybe 3.5 minutes for the tumbler designs. It's like watching water boil.
Right? She at least brought the great grandbaby in here. She could have entertained us.
Yeah.
We've got a great grandbaby be a year old here on the 30th.
So, I mean, we've been doing this for like, what, 2.5, going on 3 years now. And we do very well with tumblers. Tumblers are not a problem for us anymore. When we first started, they were. I mean, we probably wasted
Oh God, yes.
a case of tumblers.
And every now and then somebody will put a design on it
Yeah,
upside down.
every now and then I might put one upside down, so...
We still mess up.
Yeah, or the power will go out and we'll forget to reset the
Oven to
settings on the
convection.
convection oven, and just throw it in there and it's on the wrong setting, so that'll end up screwing the tumbler up too. But we make sure we check that now before we put the tumblers in there. We've tried the press, and I've made videos using the press.
All right, here's the design.
Well, there's one for one
That's what
side.
it's gonna look like.
Let me get the other one printed out so we're not waiting
Okay,
on it.
print that way. Go ahead and get this on
Okay.
here.
So you don't cut it out or nothing, you just take
No, I
it on
just-
there like
Yeah,
that.
I just leave the extra paper, put it on here.
Let me get the camera over a little bit
I just
better.
have to line that circle up on there.
And I print the design probably about 1/2 inch bigger, so you can, so it doesn't, to make sure it covers everything. Plus you can see what you're putting it on. It's a little easier. It's awful bright over there for some reason. Don't know why. But you're gonna have a little bit sticking out the edge, and then you just tape it down in a few places, right?
I tape all four, top, bottom, side, side, is what I do.
Move the camera over a little bit.
And my press is ready. And when you press metal, or what is this? Not
It's aluminum.
aluminum, your paper is going to go down.
The aluminum's on top and the
Yeah, aluminum
paper's
goes on the
bottom.
top. Not like with a t-shirt where
And
the
that's for metal and glass. You'll put the metal or the glass on top and you'll,
parchment paper. I got parchment paper under it, parchment paper on top. Ready to go. And I'm going to get my gloves because that will be hot.
.380 for 60 seconds.
Yep.
And the pressure is probably about medium pressure. We're making yard spinners. This is our second time we've made this. So we're no means an expert at making yard
No.
spinners, but we practiced on the first one, and now we are making the second one. The first one is, Tammy, show,
Right here.
that's the first one we made. I don't even know if I opened it up right or not,
I
but
don't know if it's going to be the same design.
yeah.
Alright. This side's done. Now, this is why you want to use parchment paper. If I didn't have that, that would have been all over my press.
All I see is a big white blur. It's almost like it's too bright in here or something. Probably gonna have to show it up closer to the camera next time. And it's not that dark, it's not that light in here.
Ooh, that looks good. And those colors are so pretty.
So those are the ink we use in the 15,000 is printer's jack,
Look at that.
and it's ASUB 125 paper.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah,
I love that.
that looks good.
I
So
like
now you're
it.
gonna do the other side, right?
Yep.
It's just the same as the first side.
Yep.
It's a good thing I made that overlap a little bit.
I'm gonna get me a fresh parchment paper because, yeah. The gloves. You'll wait for that to finish printing out, and we'll do the other side.
We just ordered 288 car coasters. They're the ceramic type because those are good sellers at crafts fairs. People don't like the neoprene, but they do like the ceramic or sandstone. And we sell a set of those for $8. And I have a video of how we make those. But if you do craft fairs, those ceramic car coasters are good sellers. videos.
Got anybody on here or what?
Yeah, there's people on here
Is there?
watching.
Okay.
Heck yeah. We got RUG''I Crafton, and we got Making with Marilyn, Lisa Friedman. We got a small audience. So you can read that on the laptop.
Were
over
either of
there.
you folks teachers in the past? No.
No,
No, neither one of
somebody,
us.
we weren't teachers, but well, in a way, I guess I was in the military for 29 years, and I was an instructor.
I think that probably
That,
helps.
that helps a little bit. I'm still working full time, but I do HVAC work for server rooms, cooling for big server rooms. Hopefully, I'll be retiring here in a couple of years from that.
Yeah, you are retired from the military.
Yeah, I'm
now.
retired from the military, 29 years. But yeah, this is our first live video. We hope to do more, so
Don't be surprised if anybody pops in. We got our grandson and his wife live with us with their babies, our great grandbaby. They all live here with us. And their 2 dogs.
it may be a little boring at times, but we're waiting for the printers to print. We should have probably had these
You
designs
should go ahead and
printed
start
out.
printing up some Tumbler ones. Or something for these other things.
What are we making next?
Do a tumbler.
I guess we can show you how we make our tumblers. I'll go ahead and print out a
I
design.
want to do something with the black design. Because I see how well that turns
I'll
out.
just do one of my
With the
designs.
black background.
Yeah,
Because I see a lot of people have trouble with those.
a lot of people have. I read a lot on the Facebook groups that people have trouble with black tumblers.
But like Tracy said, I totally prefer the oven. I have tried the press. I personally do not like the press. I know a lot of you do, but I don't. I just prefer
It's
the
quicker,
oven.
but
We've
it's
done
okay.
both, and to us, that's just our preference.
yeah. I mean, I've made some videos using the press, but I think I like the convection oven better because I don't have to worry about turning and where that press doesn't meet all the way, and it's okay for lighter colors, but I've never had any luck with dark colors in a press.
I'd love to see some of your own designs in the tumbler press.
Well, yeah, thank you thank your husband for his service also. 21 years in the Navy. That's pretty cool.
Well,
I
thank
was,
her too, because it's hard being a military wife as well.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. I was actually, one of my deployments was at a naval base, Guantanamo Bay, I think,
In Cuba.
in Cuba. That was my last,
Last deployment.
Yeah.
About 6-7 years ago.
I liked it there. That was a nice, very nice base. So we're gonna print out.
I like that one because I actually got to go visit, so that was
Yeah.
nice. All right, this one's done.
All right, you take over
Here's the
while
other side. I don't know where that's printed at. I can't see where the camera's at.
Yeah, because I'm using the mono
Right.
right now.
Okay, I want to try to get this the same, like the colors. I want to line that up the same way I did this one.
But you don't have to,
No, you don't have to. And I don't think I did that on the first one.
because you can't see both sides at the same time anyway. So
Right,
the
yeah, I
purpose
probably won't worry about that. I'll just line my circle up. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes, let me try to line up that circle. What I'm lining up is this, if you can tell, that's where just the flowers at. That's what I'm trying to line up.
All you gotta do is center it on the design.
Well, I still gotta make sure I get it all on there.
You know, that's why you print it a little bit bigger. That way you can see the edges of the design. Where am I printing? A dark design?
Yeah. See that one we did earlier today?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright, this one's ready to go. Move out of the way, chair.
And for people that just now start watching, the aluminum, the blade goes on top, and your
paper goes on the bottom.
And your sublimation paper goes on the bottom.
Like if you're doing a shirt, I know your paper goes on top of your fabric, but this goes on the bottom. And it is 380 for 60 seconds.
Which seems like forever when you're live. Alright, I'm printing out this design on our Epson F170.
I have to have my sweet tea.
Oh.
Got any gloves? It's hot. So we'll close up this printer. We're done with this printer, right?
Yeah.
Close it up, turn it off. But knowing me, I'll bump into it if I don't close it.
Get warm in here with that heat press.
Oh, that one's done. Turn it off. You want to wear gloves because this aluminum gets hot.
It does.
Oh, it looks so good. I love these colors.
Show the camera when you get done.
I'll get this tape off. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Ouch. That's going hot through my gloves. One more piece of tape there. I can put gloves on, that's hot. Alright, here's this side. There's that side.
And make sure you peel the plastic off first. You won't see it, but it's on there.
Sure, you'll be able to tell when you go take your paper off and it's sticking. That's what I did.
Well,
Couldn't figure out why that paper was sticking to that. I'm like, I never had paper stick before.
we'll spread it all apart.
I don't know how to do that. That's your
It
job.
shows you the instructions on the on Amazon on the site I bought it from, but I still don't understand it that much.
Just
Is
the
it still
middle's
hot?
hot. Just the middle. The other part doesn't seem so hot.
So it says to, right here's the holes at the top, and there's another one at the bottom so you can hang two, or you can hang three, but they have a hole at the top and the
Oh, I
bottom.
didn't know why they had that. I wondered.
So if you want to hang more than one together, you can. But it says to spread these apart, you're supposed to hold it flat, and then with your left hand push one way, and with your right hand you kind of spin it the other way, which is kind of hard to do, but that's what you're supposed to do. So, but I just start twisting it like this. Get this one side done, twist it in the middle. Twist your one side around,
I'm
kind of
these on my porch. I like them.
spread them out evenly, kind of like that. I don't know if you can see your nut. And then just do the other side the same. Just start spreading it around. This.
Your little hardware floor you can put on. There you go.
Kind of just space them evenly around. Just like that. You can, it's up to you how you want to space them apart more. I can do it a little bit more. Twist this a little bit. Kind of get the idea. That's how it looks. And then they come with this this hook and a little clamp, it just hooks into the top. It's got a little clip on it. Guess I should have worn my glasses because I can't see what I'm doing.
Want your glasses?
Yeah, I can kind of see. So it looks like this, and then what you can do, if you have more than one, you can hang the other one in the hole in the bottom, like that. So you can hang two of them together, or three, or four, or
I wonder why there's holes.
however many you want to hang together. But yep, that's your yard spinners, and they're available on Amazon. I'll probably put the link to these particular ones in the description of this video.
I'm gonna show them this you're gonna do.
So next, I'm gonna show you how we wrap our tumblers. I just printed out this design. As you can see, it's mostly black, and a lot of people have trouble with their black tumblers. So
The Michael Myers.
this one here is Michael Myers. It's one of our best sellers, actually. Let me see if I can bring this camera over here so we can get a better view of what I am doing here. There we go, that's a little better. So I use this Carl, this is probably the best thing I bought to do sublimation, is this Carl rotary trimmer. So I'm going to trim, and I cut my designs 9.3. I do need my glasses now,
Okay.
or I'm going to be cutting lines all over the place. So I obviously I measure my tumblers first, but they're pretty much all the same. They may be a little taller sometimes.
I like the idea of hanging them together too.
So
I think I'm gonna keep both of those. I like them like that. Somebody commented they like hanging them together.
I thought you was over there talking to yourself.
No, not this time.
Okay. So anyway, my designs are 9.3 by 8.2. And then I just use this trimmer and I trim them pretty close to the edge of the line. I might take a little bit of the design off when I trim it. So I have this.
And while he's doing that, I do have the oven preheating at 380.
You might have to talk louder. I don't know how well that microphone picks up.
Oh. While he's doing that, I got the oven preheating at 380 right now.
So once I get the design rough cut, I call it, I take my tumbler and I turn it upside down, and I turn my design upside down because I have forgot to do that. No,
Lisa, I think
Yeah.
we might add these to our craft fair items. I do like them. They're very simple to make. So I think we will add them. Sorry, I know I keep interrupting.
that's all right. This is we're here to answer questions, and so nobody's interrupting anything really. So as you can see, it's a little bit too tall. I like to trim my design so it stops just as the it starts to curve. I don't go around the curve. I trim it right at the edge of the curve. So I'm going to trim
See,
it
they
down.
can still hear me. They said they can hear
Oh,
me.
okay, good. All right.
Thank you for letting me know.
I got the microphone kind of like in the middle here. So you can see, I don't know if you can or not, because I really don't like this camera that much. Because it doesn't...
It's really bright. I don't know if it's looking bright to you
Oh,
guys
there we
or not.
go. So I got it stopping right before the curve. And I mean, we've sold thousands of tumblers, and that's how we sell them. And nobody's ever complained about that little bit of white curve on the bottom. So, and then I've got probably about an eighth of an inch, a 16th to an eighth overlap right here. So I'm going to go ahead, and first thing I do is I tape. I got this tape. This is another thing I love right here, is this tape dispenser. So what I do is I tape it long ways along the seam. I put one in the middle like this, squeeze the paper together, and I put one at the top, or the bottom, because I got it upside down. And then another one at the top. That way I got all held down like this. And now what I do is I run another length of tape down the seam. Turn this a little bit. Tape. And I've never had trouble. I see a lot of people say that their heat tape leaves marks on their tumblers, but I've never had that trouble with this heat tape. Maybe it's the kind of heat tape, I don't know. But I just run it down a piece down the seam like this, smooth it out, just like that. And then I take my thumbnail and I go down the edge I can see. I don't know if you can see that edge or not. And then I turn it around and I go down the edge that I can't see, because you got two edges right there. Just like that. And if you don't have thumbnails, sometimes I have thumbnail breaks or whatever, I use this. And what it is it's the top off of this little X-Acto knife. It's a little cap that covers it. And I found that it works just as well, because you can use the edge of it, like the corner, and it'll run down the seam just as well as your thumbnail will. And it won't cut into the tape.
And it won't scratch up the tumbler.
And it doesn't scratch the tumbler. So I've used this when my thumbnails are broken. So you do that down both seams. Let me see. I don't think you can see it.
You can see it.
Can you? Okay. And then I put a piece of tape around the bottom. The bad thing about this tape is hard to find it when it starts. You take a half and half around the bottom, meaning halfway on the tumbler and halfway over, and then just go around. And then once I get around back to the seam, I drop down and go around again. And then once I get back to the seam, cut it. Then I smooth it all out like this. And then I've got a glass, as you can see, I've got a glass desktop here, which is nice because then I can kind of use that to help smooth down the tape. And then you just do the same thing again on the top. It takes me longer to find the tape than it does to tape the tumbler. Here we go. So half and half again on the top, half on there and half off. Go around, pulling kind of tight, but you don't have to pull really tight. And once you get back to the seam, drop down and go around again. And then when you get back to the seam, just cut it, smooth it out, fold in the top piece that's hanging over, and then I like to smooth that out on the desk, just like that. And now, see, this is how I've been taping my tumblers for the last year. I think the first video I made, I didn't do it this way, but you can see I've got it taped down the edge, the seam right there, around the top, and around the bottom, and I've got that little, and I stop, like I said, I stop at the curve. So once I have the tumbler taped, I like to use shrink wrap. I've tried it without shrink wrap, and there's been a
Seems
few.
like we have ghosting.
You have there is a possibility of ghosting. Since then I've always used shrink wrap. So I put the shrink wrap on here, and we'll shrink this down. And you don't have to, you don't want to get too close to it. Probably about 5 or 6 inches away. And just get all, best you can, try and get all the wrinkles out. Just like that. Okay, so now let me show you what we use. That looks like me, okay. The stand turn, but not the camera. We have a, like we said, we use a convection oven. And we set it at 380 for 7.5 minutes. And we set our tumbler on a shelf sideways in there, just like that.
And just leave it for the 7.5 minutes.
And I don't know what we're going to talk about for 7.5 minutes. But I don't turn it. We just leave it in there.
What kind of crafts do you all make? You do tumblers?
I mean, is there anything I think I've asked several times, are there any type of videos that anybody would like us to make? I try and cover everything, but I'm sure there's still some things that we haven't covered. Or maybe I need to make another video in better detail, more detail, or do I need to show you how I make my designs on and how to print them? I see a lot of people have trouble with sizing and printing designs. And like I said, I use Affinity Designer. I've tried everything else, and this is probably the best software printing program, design program that I've ever used. What do you have to say? Anything? This is our craft room, obviously. We got our Sublimate, our convection oven, and then we got a F170. We got our regular printer, it's a 2760. And we use that to print like regular stuff on.
It's not sublimation.
Like cup care cards,
Yeah.
business cards,
Gift notes
messages,
with Etsy and
things like that. And then we've got the Epson 15,000. Oh, speaking of the F170, that is a actual sublimation printer. It comes with the warranty. You don't void the warranty if you put sublimation ink in it, because it's made for sublimation ink. And I just use the ink that comes with it, which is Epson sublimation ink, and I really do like the Epson sublimation ink. And I use ASUB 125 sublimation paper. Yeah, we thought about epoxy tumblers, but I started looking at those and I'm thinking, no, I don't like all the mess. And,
does somebody on here make those?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're brave.
Yeah.
They look so hard to me.
They look like they take a lot of time to
But
make
they're
one.
beautiful.
Yeah, they're pretty. I mean, they are. Yeah, I have designed my own tumbler designs. In fact, I've
The one
got
we're making right now, you designed.
the one that I'm making right now. I actually designed that one, and I've got a few that I've designed. A lot of them, our designs we buy from Etsy. Obviously, we try to stay away from trademark stuff like Disney and Harley Davidson and all that stuff. I mean, it's a fine line, but that's a whole nother discussion right there. So we try to stay away from anything like that. And I do make my own designs. And we make custom tumblers. We put names on them and things like that. We can put names, and we've made, people have had an idea. We're working right now with a haunted house that's local to us.
We mainly do a lot of horror tumblers.
Yeah, we do a lot of
Michael
horror
Myers,
tumblers.
Freddy, Jason. And we have a Jeep actually too, a Jeep Gladiator. We have it wrapped. It's Jason, Michael Myers, and Freddy. So we like horror.
People's always taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we thought about epoxy at one time, like, no, that's okay. Too messy, too much time. We
Yeah.
pretty much got to the point where we can make 10 sublimation tumblers, print them out, and wrap them heat them up, and put them in a box and ship them off. Probably about an hour and a half for 10 of them.
Now your epoxy, I think you have to like leave that set and everything, right? I've never really looked into it too much.
Yeah, you have to let it harden up.
Yeah.
So anyway, we
I don't know
got.
if I have the patience for epoxy.
Yeah. The 15,000 is good if you're using if you want to make larger prints, up to 13 by 19 for T-shirts and things like that, and also it's good for license plates if you want to make license plates because it does 12 inches by. You can print out 3 license plates actually on one sheet of 13 by 19 sublimation paper. And it's good for these yard spinners because they're 10 inches. I use printer's jack in it and ASUB 125 paper. And then we got the very first printer that we started with, which is the Epson 4760. And we first started with that, and then I bought the 15,000, and then I bought the F170, which is what I use all the time now for tumblers. And then for other crafts, we use the other 2 printers. And this little label maker, that is a, we used to print out labels on the 2760, and it would take forever, and that label maker will print them out in no time. And
somebody likes to do sublimation license plates. I like to do those too.
yeah, the license plates are nice, and but they don't seem like they sell very well anymore for some reason.
At least not in our area.
Not in our area, because I've tried different designs and things like that. I even got to the point where I was lowered the price down to like $2 to sell, just to get rid of them.
I like making them.
But I think it's because a lot of cars anymore, they don't have the mounting on the front bumpers anymore to mount the license plates. Maybe in other states where you have, I don't know, but
we're in Indiana.
yeah, we only have to have a license plate on the back, and you can put a vanity plate on the front, but the bumpers don't have the mounting for them anymore, all the new cars.
Okay, this tumbler has got like 25 seconds left.
Okay, we're coming back to the
And then I'm
tumbler.
going to take it out. I'm going to go run to the bathroom and put it in the
So
sink of cold water.
Yeah, when we take our tumblers out of the convection oven, we submerge them in room temperature water, not ice cold water, not ice water, just room temperature tap water comes up, because if you do submerge them in ice water, you do have a chance to break the vacuum seal on the inside. But we've been putting them in just like room temperature tap water, and we've never had a tumbler leak yet. And like I said, we've sold thousands of tumblers, so that's not a problem doing that. And it just helps cool the tumbler down a lot quicker. And it does, I don't know if it makes the image any more vibrant, but it's just a convenience for us so we can cool the tumbler down and peel off the paper. And she should be coming back with that in just a second.
I'm back. Close this door. They're trying to get the baby to take a nap.
And then we just dry it off.
Dry it off and unwrap the shrink wrap here, which takes me a minute. I use this little knife here to cut them off. Dump out the water that got in
We
there.
used to be able to buy the shrink wrap that you could just peel it down the side. It was so nice.
They don't seem to peel anymore.
And you can't get it anymore. We switched to this shrink wrap, and now we can't get this anymore either. It's always unavailable. But there's not too many shrink wraps that you can peel the side down anymore.
Just give me a minute here. I just lose.
So this is, the colors on this tumbler is predominantly black. And hopefully, well, every rare now and then we have a seam line, but it's usually because we forget to check the oven before we put them in there. We'll see how this one looks.
He wraps and I unwrap.
Yeah.
Wipe the paper off.
Sometimes you'll have paper stick just a little bit. You can wipe that off with a damp rag, or we use a t-shirt, cotton t-shirt.
I don't know if y'all, well, you can see that. That's our seam.
I see a reflection.
No,
There's no seam.
there's no seam.
Just spin the whole cup around.
Man, there's the
No
black.
ghosting at the top or the bottom.
No ghosting.
Let's see. You can see the top. I see reflections mostly. There's the bottom. Like I said, I stopped just before the curve. And there you can see kind of where my seam meets. So yeah, black tumbler, I mean, they can be done. It's just that I can't do them in a tumbler press for some reason. I have to use a convection oven and shrink wrap. So this is, we have a lot of orders for this tumbler right here. And we get a lot of good reviews on it. But that's how we wrap and sublimate our tumblers. Pretty much the same way for every tumbler we do. Here you go.
Trying to read.
What are you trying to read? Somebody said, if you make a good team, that looks great. That black is awesome. Thank you. We try our best. So, what else are we gonna make? What are we done for today? This was kind of like a practice stream. We were hoping to make more streams.
We should make a good team. We've been married 37 years.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing live streams or live classes for a while now. I haven't made an actual video for a while because it's been so
Just been too busy.
crazy lately.
With life and everything
And
else.
orders.
Busy. Yeah, orders, life.
But
it's
I'm
just
hoping to
been
make
busy.
some more videos, instructional videos. I think I was wanting to make one on those glass, the Dollar Tree glass cutting boards. That's probably the next video that I'll make. But this is kind of like our first stream, and we wanted to make sure everything was set up right, and I'm kind of seeing some things we need to change.
Hopefully we weren't too boring for
Yeah.
y'all. Dark brown and dark red maroon is their hardest thing to do.
Yeah. And do you, Marilyn, do you use a tumbler press or a convection oven? Because we have trouble with dark colors in tumbler press. That's why we stopped using it. We had trouble with black, any dark color.
We could not get the black.
I could not get the colors right. I could get light colors and other tumblers perfect all day long, but once it came to a very dark tumbler,
Yeah.
I just couldn't have any trouble. I just couldn't do it. That's why we don't have If you look in our room, we don't have a tumbler press. I sold them all.
She's used both, but I do better with a press.
Okay, well, obviously you're better than I am with a press. Because
Yeah, everybody has their preference.
I
I
mean,
know a lot of people prefer a press.
a press is a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got 100 tumblers to make, and it'll take us, since we start our convection oven at 8 minutes, put our tumbler in at 7.5. So you're looking at 8 minutes per tumbler just for the
Yeah, it takes
convection
some
oven.
time.
So that, for 10 tumblers, that's 80 minutes.
How long does it take in a press?
It takes what? Well, we've done the videos.
Yeah, I don't remember.
45 seconds on one side and
Uh-huh.
45 seconds on the
Okay,
other.
yeah, a lot
A minute
quicker.
and a half.
Right.
It's a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know why her maroons and stuff wouldn't be doing right though.
I don't know.
I don't do that end of it. That's all you.
You know, it may be, I don't know, what kind of, it depends on what ink you're using, what paper.
I mean, we have come to find
Program.
out every one of these printers we have will print everything
Yeah.
a different color.
I can print the same design from the F170, the 15,000, and the 4760, use the same settings on my,
and they will come out different
and
colors.
they will all be a different shade of color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But we did that today actually with this design.
right. One was a darker,
It was more
Orange,
red. That
more
orange
bluish.
was more red, and where the Michael's face was gray, and the other printer it came out it was more blue.
that's why I like to use the F170, because the colors are pretty much
Mm-hmm.
close to what you have on your design.
Mm-hmm.
The 15,000 and the 4760, they're a shade off or
Yeah,
something.
I think
They're
the printers
lighter,
is what makes a difference.
or lighter or darker.
Yeah.
I mean, we can show you right now. Where's that other tumbler? The one we just made, and then the one. She says she tends to overcook them, but her black looks great.
Then yeah, that's weird then.
Yeah, that's
Here's
weird.
the one we made earlier.
Here's an example of what I was talking about.
in this box.
Where's the one that we just now made?
Right here.
Okay, so this one here is the one I just.
That was off of the.
This is the one we just showed
Sublimation
you
printer.
that I made off of the F170. Earlier today, we made one from the
Together.
2760. This one's the F170, and here's the 2760.
See how this one looks more
The
red.
orange is more orange. The blue is really dark compared to this one. And it's the same design,
Mm-hmm.
the same
They
settings.
did the same, did everything the same, except
But-
different printers.
The printers are different, so
Right.
it just depends on. Well, obviously, I do have Cyclone ink in the 4760. I have Printer's Jack ink in the.
What's in this one you printed off that with?
This is Epson printer with
That's Epson,
Epson Sublimation ink.
It could be the ink.
It could be the inks, but I mean, I've tried. I think on the 15,000 and the 4760, I had the same ink in them at one time, and they still printed different.
Yeah, see, usually when we've overcooked, our black turns more brown. So, yeah, I don't think you're overcooking.
Well, like I say, when black is brown, turn it down. If it's green, then you need more heat. You're not cooking long enough.
You can see he's putting my stuff in the
But I think that's going to be it for today, because we don't really have anything else set up, and it would be kind of boring if we
just sit here.
sat here while we got things set up. But like I said, this is just so we can actually see what we need to do. We're trying to do more streaming so people can ask questions.
And like I said, I'm not used to being this side of the camera either, so.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
usually the one holding the camera. Because he does better at this end.
Well, we're going to leave now anyway. We appreciate everybody
Yeah,
watching.
thanks for joining.
And hopefully we'll be able to get some more videos out for you. So thank you, everyone, and have a
Bye.
nice weekend.
Thank
And
you.
Happy sublimating.